Hello guys, little update session right now. Yes, since the last time we fused the Phoenix, as you can see right here, I also put some crappy runes on him, just, you know, you shouldn't ruin your Phoenix on speed, HP, accuracy, but I'm actually doing it because of his stuns are way more important to me than his damage. For damage I have other units right now, and I need his freezes, as I said. I kind of want him to be a little bit more tanky for giants later on. And a little bit more speedy so he can turn cycle a lot and use those skills as well. Then, what else? Did I forget something? Oh, yeah, I actually did. So if you take a look here on fusion info, as you can see, I gathered more monsters for another Melia fusion that I am going to do in, yeah, hopefully till the next video comes out. And I am starting to clear B11. It should work when he is max level. I dropped off Fran right now for Lulu. Lulu is max skilled, Fran isn't right now, and as I said, the passive of the giant is triggered way more often if I use Fran instead of Lulu. So, as for the speed team I'm working on, the plan is the meta team for giants is we have a Lucian, we have a Melia, we then would have a second Melia to apply more dots. We would have a Fire Grim Reaper that I actually didn't pull yet, which is kind of sad. Fire Grim Reaper on Second Awakening, and an Pixie Fire on Second Awakening as well. And this team should clear everything. How it works is you start the battle, Lucian clears the first wave instantly. Those two Melias as well as the Grim Reaper apply multiple damage over time effects on the mid boss, and the Pixie blows them up with her skill 3. So the boss should die really, really quick. Next wave, Lucian has a skill up already again, and he should amputation magic the wave again, which should be killed instantly if everything works fine. And same thing with the middle boss, applies to the big boss as well. The Dryad's gonna put some damage over time effects on them, and they blow up again. Should be ultra fast. You can see maybe here someone. Yeah, you can see so many people use Melia Soft, Tattoo, Lucian. Let me see. That's not it. This, for example. Instead of Lucian, he uses Veromos, so it's a little bit more, stable, more secure, especially if you can't one-shot the first waves, which is actually another big point why I've used Sigmarus, that I'm going to use for his HP lead and for his freezes for the waves instead of Veromos. And then I have like the two Melias, the Sath, and the Tatu. And this is what I'm going to do. You don't actually have to 6-star those monsters. The only thing you have to 6-star is Lucian if you're gonna use him, because you need those stats. And since my Lucian doesn't have any skill ups and I don't have any really strong runes I can put on him to one-shot the waves, just gonna use Sigmarus in the future I'm working on. And yeah, I'm just praying to get the Fire Grim Reaper that I really didn't pull yet. It's so sad. I need this guy. I need this guy. Sad. Okay, what he does is he doubles the damage output of the continuous damage. But I've gathered some scrolls. I'm just summoning in videos, by the way. I'm not summoning off screen. So let's see if we can get one. That would be super premium. Well, it is a lightning. The ice magic, it's okay, but nothing we particularly need right now. So let's continue. Lizardman, Priest, Penguin, another Epicon. Oh, why did I skip that? Okay. Magic Knight, okay. It's a keep, it's a 4-star. Why not? And no Grim Reaper. So sad. Yeah, I also don't think it's from the Fire Hall of Heroes. Not Hall of Heroes, from the Fire Secret Dungeon that you can obtain him. Maybe you can, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know for sure. And I also don't think you can get him in the campaign anywhere. You can get like the wind one right here, I think. Yeah, you can get the wind one. So if you need skill ups, you can farm the skill ups here. But I don't think you can get the fire one anywhere in the campaign. Doesn't look like that. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that's a oh wait, I forgot. I still have a legendary scroll. Let's pop those up as well. And she's not useful for us. At least not right now. But that's totally fine. Just gonna put it in storage later. Okay. So basically all I'm gonna do is farm some runes, get the Grim Reaper, maybe second awaken him if I can, as soon as possible of course. And when that's up, then the Giants 12 team should be stable. What I want to focus in this episode is a little bit about the Kairos dungeon as well. I just talked about it. I'm doing it right now, but you know, some people might need some input. So let's start with the Giants. I'm just gonna start 7, just because it's faster, and so you can also see what the team is all about. So if you have a Lucian, he should one-shot this wave instantly. I don't have one, so we're just gonna skip it. If yeah, okay. Talking about Giants. For the first wave, I would recommend having some sort of lapis for attack bar pushback. Maybe some tankiness, some heals, some crowd control, or just a lot of damage because you want to get rid of those side crystals as fast as possible. They deal a ton of damage to your units, and I think they also freeze them. The golems, they are just annoying. They can just freeze and crowd control you, but those crystals, they do a lot of damage. Mid boss shouldn't be too hard. Only problem is the mid guy. If you can control him, it's super easy. Pushback attack bar, as you can see, or just yeah, just kill him fast enough. Shouldn't be an issue. I would recommend going to the boss first, because you don't really need to clear those. Do that real quick. But as you can see, they do a little bit of crowd control, which is annoying. So let's just put up some immunity. Why not? And he's gone. Okay. Same thing as stage 1. You want to get rid of those side crystals. And if you can one-shot this wave with illusions, which would be epic. As I said, I'm going to use Sigmarus, as you can see. Full team freeze. Really good. At least in my opinion, because, farming Giants B12 is a pretty big difference from farming Giants 10. So I would recommend that all day. And at the boss, you have those 2 towers. When they get a turn, they do their special effects. The left one gives the boss attack power. The right one weakens the defense of your entire team. Which is kind of problematic, especially after those 7 attacks. He will counter attack you. And if he has attack buff, and your monster has defense broken, it does a shit ton of damage. So keep an eye out for that. You can help it by removing the defense break with immunity, or just use immunity at all, so it can't be applied to you at all. And even if you push the guy's attack bar back, as you can see, he will still counterattack you once every 7 attacks. What else you can do? You can put some defense buff on your monsters so he won't hit as hard. You can strip him of his attack buff when you have a stripper in your team. I actually don't have that, but that's not a problem. And yeah, that's basically it. You could go for damage over time, go for death breaks, and use monsters that do damage according to the enemy HP, like Sigmarus does as well. So you can see, it's the max HP. And see, even though he doesn't have a tiny bit of damage, he is speed, HP, and accuracy. He still does a decent amount of damage to the boss. Just because its max HP is so high. Later, when I have my second Melia, I'm gonna replace Lapis with it, because as you can see, Lapis pushes a lot of the attack bar back, which isn't that beneficial if you want the boss to get a turn to proc all those damage over time effects. So when I have my second fusion ready, I'm gonna do that. But for now, it works, so it's okay. And I also use Lapis just for the crowd control, where I have Sigmarus right now. So I don't really need that. Just gotta finish him real quick. Easy peasy. Okay. That was super slow, but just for demonstration, you know? 4 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, this would... Nah, trash. Okay. I'm also gonna make a little guide later. Not in this video, but in a special video on which runes to keep, which runes to sell, what are good runes, when do you know it's a good rune, and stuff like that. But therefore, I need the team first. And if I don't get lucky with my Firegrim Reaper, that could take a while. We have to use a different team till then. Okay, Giants out of the way, let's focus on Dragons a little bit. As you can see, Dragons has a pretty special team. No, that's not it. You could also use Sarth and Tatu, which are pretty popular because of blowing up those dots, allow you to speed up your teams as well. What I'm actually looking at is, there it is. This is the end game team, or is it the end game team? It's definitely one of the later team. You have a Vertihill that constantly pushes forward your attack bar, and you have the Trikarus, or actually Ikaru. It's just called Trikaru because there are three. And if the Trickaroo has enough defense, it will attack with 3 other allies. As you can see, that's why we are missing a slot here. He will attack with the other 2 and Vertihill. And Vertihill pushes the attack bar forward and forward and forward. And since they all attack with each other, they recycle their turns. They get team up again and just ready to use it again. And they will always team up, always death break the enemy. Vertihill does a ton of damage, and basically that's how it works. Super fast actually for Dragon Speed 12, which is quite cool. And the constant attack bar push is needed because the boss grants the tower grants the boss immunity at some point, and if you can't remove it, it's a pain to deal with the boss. So if you take a slow team, use something like Lauren. Lauren is super good in dragons. You could also use the water, which there it is. She's also super strong in here. I really like her to use in dragons at the beginning of the game. And just try to remove the immunity. Just, yeah, push back the attack of the boss, or just take a look that he doesn't apply too many damage over time effects on you. And yeah, should be easy peasy. As you can see, he does way more damage when you have more continuous damage. And he also has a special ability: if you destroy a tower, he will deal a ton of damage to the unit that killed the tower. So beware of that. Or if the towers die on damage over time, then he won't do that, obviously. But just for your interest. Dragons, beginner team, something like Vertihill, Lulu. I would use Sigmarus because Sigmarus is strong in early dungeons. Maybe Lauren here and the Water Witch, or the Water Witch, or you can just use the Water Witch and use Spectre. Spectre can slow the towers so they don't get a turn that often, and the Witch can just cleanse it off. That's like a decent beginner team in my opinion. Obviously I don't have the runes at that level, so just gonna skip that. Steel Fortress and Punisher script is something I'm just gonna focus on another day, as well as Necropolis. Today, let's take a look at Hall of Wind. Hall of Wind, as you can see, is one of those attribute dungeons that also has a special ability. The tower heals the boss. So normally you can just insta-kill it. If you, at a certain point in this game, you can just insta-kill the boss in like a couple of turns. Shouldn't be a problem. You should always go for speed teams. But for the beginning, obviously you don't have a speed team, so you kinda have to block the heal from the boss. Therefore, you can use monsters like Lucian if you have one, which is super amazing for the clear in the waves, and use heal block on skill 1 for the boss. What else you could use is also pretty good in raids, is the Colleen. Where is she? There she is, the Harpu. She's also super strong. She can reduce attack power from the boss, she can do heal block on the enemy, and she heals your team, granting all of your team attack buff, basically permanent attack buff, because 3 turns, usable in 3 turns, -2, you know? And she's just amazing. She's a really good unit, especially for wind and raids, as I said. What else could you use? You can also search here, you can look for, where is it there? Unrecoverable. Take a look. This guy, I actually like this guy. He's really cool. He's also super good in the Punisher script and in the Steel Fortress, in my opinion. And yeah, I just like this guy. I think he's way underappreciated. Really cool unit. Also like to use him in TOA sometimes. Thing is, he's kinda unreliable because he has a chance to ignore the defense. It isn't like 100%, which is kind of sad. But he's a cool unit. Might consider building him later. You can also use this guy if you need heal block. He's also decent in Necropolis, but not really worth 6-starring in my opinion. What else? Beside that, you can just use like, oh, here, look at this. Our Soth, the Grim Reaper. Sure, you can use him. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, Lauren, of course. Yeah, Lauren. Sure, Lauren is strong. I would use Lauren anytime because in stage 10 of Hall of Wind, you don't see it right now because I don't have it unlocked. The right tower will cleanse the boss and give him immunity, I think. So you can't apply heal block. Lauren can strip and apply heal block in one skill, which is really useful in this stage. So Lauren is pretty good here. Something else? Yes. Trying to climb the TOA as well. As I said, I still don't have my Tyrant, and I've gathered a lot of water monsters over the time. So if I get another Tyrant, which should be pretty soon, I hope. Yeah, pretty soon, as you can see. I nearly unlocked this event. Then I have a lot of water monsters. I have to focus on others as well. Buy this one. This one I can't buy yet. And I'm gonna do that later, but I'm actually gonna use my Devil Monster on Sigmarus. Just because I think he's very usable until mid-game. Yeah. And that's basically it for today. It's just a little summary. Just a little quick guide on the dungeon teams, especially for giants, dragons, and, you know, magic is pretty easy. I don't think there is a guide needed. World boss, we can also do world boss right now because we have a lot of monsters. You should always look to do world boss every time. Even if you get trash chest, it doesn't mean you won't get stuff. You could still get like mystical scrolls and stuff, and just do it. Why not? And I'm still. Oh, oh yeah, I can do that already. Okay, and then I'm gonna get started on some guild wars later on, so I can gather some points for the quest later, where I need to buy one of those things. I'm not gonna complete the Ifrit anytime soon, but I need the summoning pieces for all the quests. And that's basically it for today. Since I don't have a Grim Reaper, a little conclusion, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put up the Martial Cat. I'm still gonna use double Melia, just for the damage over time effects, which should help a lot. And then I kinda need a defense breaker to do some more, to get some more damage output from her. Sadly, I can't second awaken her right now. It's kinda rough. Kinda unlucky with the 3 stars we've gotten so far, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna keep an eye out for the Fire Grim Reaper, trying to put up my Naomi. Naomi is the Wind Cat, as you saw. And yeah, I'm just trying to find a dungeon team, which would work in 12, Gens 12, which shouldn't be so slow. And yeah, that's basically it. Just a quick little update, just a quick little guide. If there are any questions, you can tell me. Trying to answer them all. And yeah, see ya. Have a good one. Bye bye.